Hello there, it's G&3 Gaming here, and we're playing some Red Alert 3 in AI only battles. We're going to be doing a brutal battle between the Soviet forces and the Allied forces, with the two commanders being Oleg and Warren. We have the colours corresponding to each faction too, so let's see who is going to win this battle. So straight away we have the Soviets building themselves a barracks. I'm guessing the Allies are going to be doing the same. Then I'm guessing that after they've built that, they're going to be building themselves a power plant, which then, after that, they'll be going for the oil refineries, which is normally what they do. Indeed, they are doing that. You know, the Russians sending forward themselves a bear to scout out the area, and then they really should just go straight for the front. I mean, if they went straight down here, they would have been able to get this engineer. So the Allies are sending themselves an engineer to get themselves the oil derrick. The Russians also doing the same. But the Russians at the moment, two bears going around from the sea. The Allies doing the same with their dog. Here they come to meet. The Russians are sending in their bear to get a quick little scout of the Allies base to see what they've gone for. And there we go, we're going to lose that bear. And already we have the Russians with one of the oil derricks and the Allies with the other. The Allied dog pushing in, they already have two oil refineries. The Allies have the same, pushing up with their power. The forces that are available right now are, well, they both kind of have the same sort of forces going. The Allies are now pushing forwards with an engineer, probably to capture this oil derrick, or maybe even to capture this observational post, which is actually quite good because you can see any forces coming to attack before they come. But it looks like they're going for that oil derrick, which they, by the looks of it, are probably going to get, which is going to be quite good for the Allies. I mean, here we have the bear pushing in to the Allied base with the riptides being produced. I wonder if yes, the Russians have themselves some sickles. They're sending in another engineer here who could just go back and capture that oil derrick once it's been taken, but I reckon that won't happen and that they'll go straight for the Allies' oil derrick. But that will be countered, I would have thought, by the Allied riptides. So it looks like the Allies have themselves an advantage early game, taking out this engineer here and probably going to kill these infantry, which looks like, at the start, it really does look like the Allies are going to win this. From the start anyway, they've got a lot better control over the grounds, but here we have the Russians pushing the enemy riptides back. The good thing about the Stickles is they can retreat and still fire upon the forces that are chasing them. They can probably take out all this infantry too, but they'll have to retreat soon as they're going to start losing themselves some Stickles from these rocket javelin troopers, sorry. But yeah, they're pushing forwards again. They're going to get this new oil derrick. It looks like the Russians are trying to bring it back for themselves because this early game was kind of a disaster for the Russians. They should probably take this observational post as well to get an idea of when the Allies are going to push forwards. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think there could be a possibility that you can even see if they're pushing up to expand to this next ore mine. But it looks like now it's going to even out for a bit until one team gets more than the other in form of tanks. So it's going to be a while before one of them wins, I think. Definitely not going to be a win right now, as either side does not have enough units to effectively take out the other side's base. It looks like the Allies are running low on infantry. They're probably going to start pumping some more out. The Russians not building anything, but have themselves some sickles going. I wonder if they are producing a building which is a super reactor, which means they can start pumping out some hammer tanks. And I wonder if the Allies have got, yeah, they've already got themselves some Guardian tanks, which is normal that they get it before the Russians, but who knows, they could still lose this. It looks like the Allies again trying to get that oil derrick. I mean, I'm not sure how much it's going to be, how worthy that is, considering as they're going to keep wasting their money on these engineers, but for the amount of time that they own it for, I'm not sure it's worth it at all. But it looks like they're going to be taken out anyway, and the engineer is already dead straight away off the bat, and all the infantry follow. So it looks like they're pushing forwards with an expansion going towards the Russian base, maybe? What? This is very confusing. But here we have some Guardian tanks pushing forwards. Probably going to take out these sickles, and this prospector could even get up to the Russian base and put up a forward operating base and just, oh, but no, here comes the Russians with their Sputnik, sorry, and would easily count out the Allies sending back their prospector. Probably going to go to this expansion for their own base. Not quite sure why they even tried to go up here, but you know, it could have worked out for them. Here comes the Russians with their hammer tanks pushing forwards. They have themselves a bullfrog to protect them against cryocopters, which really won't work because the cryocopter would have shrunk it before it does anything. But the cryocopters, the Allies already pushing forwards with some jets, some bombers here from their airbase. Got themselves an airbase going. The Russians got themselves an airfield going too. They're doing pretty good for power considering they have the super reactor. I would think they'd start building their well, they've started building something, or they'll build the naval base. The Allies got quite a few units on the front here. The Russians kind of on a retreat. They've got themselves a twin blade gun, which are pretty good against the armoured units, so that is going to be interesting. The Allies just holding back here with their Guardian tanks. Not quite sure what they plan to do with them. Again, pushing forward with these Riptides, which aren't very effective anymore, considering the Russians have got themselves some hammer tanks, and they've got themselves a twin blade here, and the Russians, the Allies sending in another jet here. Again, the Allies holding their tanks and all that. The Russians have got themselves quite a few Tesla troopers, which are going to deal with that infantry pretty well. When the Allies now push forward with those Guardian tanks that were waiting around for so long, they have that oil derrick back again. I'm not quite sure if they did take. Oh, sorry, they never actually took it in the first place. The Russians are building the battle lab, which is going to help them get that Popelix tanks that they really need to push against the high number of enemy vehicles. The Russians here trying to gain air superiority against the Allies to stop these bombers coming in. See, this bomber here got literally no health left, and is struggling to stay alive. They've got some very damaged armoured units, but the Russians don't have enough units on the armoured front anyway to hold back these pushes. If they keep coming with the same amount of armoured units, it's going to be a problem for the Russians. The Allies holding their air defence here, stopping any planes or possibly any future Kirovs, or maybe, oh, we've got an Iron Curtain coming up. That's going to help them a lot, as it makes their units invincible for a short amount of time. Oh, the first Apocalypse tank coming out. I wonder if the Allies have got themselves a Mirage tank yet. No, they have not, but they have got themselves a defense bureau, which is going to allow them to build it. They're out of power, so their turrets will not be able to do anything against the attacks. But it looks as if the Allies have built themselves an oil refinery on their expansion, and so have the Russians. The Russians are going for the Allied sea expansion and not their own first, which is kind of a weird move. These AI are playing it quite weird today, but what can you do, eh? I mean, they're going to just go for whatever they think is best. I mean, the Russians probably, if they hold this, they could probably put up a naval yard and just keep hammering the Allied forces. I mean, they should probably stick up some AA as well to stop the expansion from being taken out. That oil derrick looks like it's going to be lost pretty soon, which isn't too much of a problem, as they've got quite a bit of resources going anyway. The Russians are building, they've built themselves some Kirov airships, and Stingrays are pushing forwards too. They should probably send that around the side, maybe get up into the, harass their prospectors a bit, take them out. But again, the Allies have got their Guardian tanks just playing around inside the base, and the Russians are pushing up their Apocalypse tanks, which should be able to take out these Guardian tanks no problem. They can simply just run them over. It's that good. But the Allies should get themselves. Oh, there is a commander, I'm guessing. What was that laser all about? No, it probably wasn't a laser. Probably a tank with a laser on top of it. So here again, with the quadcopters being able to shrink, the Allies sending in some Apollo fighters, which will be able to take out those Kirill airships pretty well. Yeah, as we expected, they're sticking up to some defences, anti-air and a Tessicle on that expansion they made, which is going to be good, especially if they can get this, because they will be overpowering in their economy. The Russians turn their Kirovs to face the Allies, but the Allies have got some javelins waiting from earlier, as we saw, which could do quite a bit of damage. They're using their rockets on the Kirovs to get themselves away, but it's not really doing too much difference. It's just taking down their health a bit more. The Allies have built up some defences here to stop any attacks. They have got themselves a Mirage tank, even one with a star rating, so that's going to be able to do quite a lot of damage, I would have thought, to the Russians with the Kirill battleship there. They could send that in again, but I doubt they will. They've taken out that Cryocopter. Not yet, but they will do now. The Riptides are quite low. They don't really need Riptides anymore. They've got a lot of these javelins which are going to take out any air units they have. They have some Apocalypse tanks pushing forwards, the Russians that is. And I'm pretty sure this is almost game over for the Allies, as they have a sentry bomber though coming in, which is going to do some heavy damage to the Russian tanks. It's some very good bombers, especially if you can get a lot of them. So Bullfrog's pushing forward to defend against these air threat. Russians using the special, which is going to completely miss, even kill some of their units. Their own units, sorry. The Russian commander here, Natasha, pushing forwards on the expansion, getting herself in a good position to start backing into base. The Russians sending in their Kirov, which isn't going to do much, but will probably do some damage to anything that it lands on. Probably going to land on that. Oh, they've taken out the barracks, which is good news for the Russians. They're going to lose it though before they take out the Allied war factory. Sorry, the vehicle. What is it called? The armor facility. There we go. The Allies, the Russians have now used their Iron Curtain. They have a vacuum imploder built, which is going to be a massive boost. Well, it's going to be the end of the Allies if they get to use it, because at the moment the Allies have not got many units left, and the Russians are sending forward invincible Apocalypse tanks. So this is not looking too good for the Allies right now. And the Allies close to losing their forward operating base as well if they could push that in, but they're not. They're going to retreat. The Russians still harassing with their Kirov battleships, airships. Sorry, they've got 4 waiting. They're going to stock them up to then push in, I would have thought. The Russians have also got some still standing around. I think they're just going to hold this position. They've also got some V4 rocket launchers as well. You'll be able to get them from a distance. But nope, the solo javelin soldier takes it out, but gets wiped out by the Tesla soldier. Sorry, they're just going to wipe out the forward operating base, I would have thought, and rip to their economy supposedly. More Kirill airships going forth as well. Where were the other ones? I think that one must have come from that group. There was one over here too. That one's falling back, maybe to regroup these lot to push in. This one's probably going to take out their oil refinery before the Allies even get to it. What are the Allied units doing at the moment? There's only one Mirage tank around. I can't see anything else. It looks like this is going to be ripped to the Allies. This is a pretty quick game, I think, so it does. I'm not quite sure how the Allies will pull it back, even if they can. Even if they manage to get themselves a good amount of units out. They've just taken out their oil refinery, so it looks they're going straight for the construction yard here. Gonna knock it out, and well, the Allies are low on power too, so they can't. Oh, it just no, but it dies. It goes down at the end, and here comes the rest of the Russian units pushing in. The Bullfrog going in first, but can't really do much because it's only air targeting. They've taken out another oil refinery, which is very bad news for the Allies. They have practically lost it right now. They've lost the construction yard. The only way they can start building again is if they build another one, which I doubt will happen. The Defense Bureau is taking damage. They've got next to no power for the defensive too. They've taken out forward operating base, which is going to take out their oil refinery, which means they will only have one more left. Oh, in fact, no, they'll have none left without So without any economy now, they have definitely lost this game. So it looks like the Russians are claimed victory here today. So if you and here comes the crew of airships just cleaning up, with the Russians following suit. They've got that Iron Curtain working again, but it's not really going to be much use because all the enemy units are dead. But so this is pretty much game over, victory to the Russians. So if you would like to see another video like this, please tell me in the comments and like this video. Likes really do help me out. And thank you guys all for watching, and I will now remain quiet as the Russians clear up. So that was a Russian victory. Thank you guys for watching. I'll show you the stats, and then after that I think we're all finished. Yes, so we have the Russians at the start moving up with quite a bit more units, but then being lower dramatically. It looked like at this time the Allies were going to win. It looked like for most of the game they were going to win until about this moment here, where they started to lose quite a lot of units, and it just went downhill from there. And then in the structures tab we have, it was about equal most of the way until the Russians started pushing in and taking out some of their vital structures, and then the Russians pushing basically had the same resources most of the way until about here when we saw that Sputnik push around onto this in the sea to get their the Allies' fifth expansion, sorry. So the Russians dominated with the resources. So all in all, here's the summary. You guys can pause the video if you want to see each individual stat. I'll just scroll down slowly, but thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, it really helps me out a lot. And comment who you'd like to see up against who. Maybe you want to see the Allies get themselves some revenge, or maybe a Soviet Japanese battle, or even a Allied Japanese battle, or maybe even a 3v3, which I'm not actually sure is possible. I'll have to see about that one, but maybe even a three-person free-for-all, or even player battles. But yeah, please like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.